Hey guys, it's Allie from Mystic Cycle Center. I'm coming back on with another video. This one is to address a very commonly shared fear of group rides. It's something that we hear at the bike shop a lot, and it's something that I felt, you know what, we need to address. And thank you, Chris, for bringing it up. So I posted my last video, and this was one of the comments that we received is, how do you overcome that fear of a group ride? So we surely do not want you preventing yourself from trying out a group ride because you're afraid that you might not be able to keep up. And then on the flip side of that, you're afraid of holding others up. That is so common. And I will admit, I have struggled with that fear as well. And sometimes the thought of a group ride becomes so daunting because I'm worrying so much about, am I going to have an on week this week or an off week for this ride? Am I going to be able to do more than I thought I was and it's going to feel easier than I expected? Or is it going to feel harder than I anticipated and kind of put me in a place where I'm just trying to hang on? I can understand that. What I will tell you is this. So from the standpoint of Mystic Cycle Center, our goal with group rides is to bring a common group of people together where they can have a sense of community. So it's getting people out together who are passionate about the same thing, who can then connect with each other on this common ground. So for us, what we do, and other shops will do this too. So if you're not from, Eastern Connecticut and you're not riding with our groups, that's fine. But just keep this in mind if you're looking for group rides near you. A lot of groups will put like a label, kind of like a rating on their group rides. So basically for us, we usually have an A ride, we'll have a B ride, and then sometimes we'll even offer a C ride. So the A ride is basically your fast-paced ride. People will probably be going above 18 miles an hour on average, sometimes into the 20-mile-an-hour range. And these are your really elite athletes. This is a drop ride, which means if you can't hang on, the group isn't going to wait for you. So it's something that if you're interested in going fast, you can work your way up to that, but it's definitely not like your starting point ride if you've never been on a group ride before. Our second category is our B ride, which is the ride that I would typically go on. So your B ride is usually for Mystic Cycle, it's like your ride that averages like 16 miles an hour. We'll go on like sometimes about a 20-mile ride. It might be just shy of that or a little bit over that. But this is a ride that is a non-drop ride. So basically everybody stays together. The ride leader works to keep everybody together. At intersections, we stop, we regroup, we get the whole group together, and then we continue on. Sometimes on the B ride, there won't only be a ride leader, there will also be a sweeper. So the leader is at the front of the group, the sweeper is at the back of the group. And if the sweeper notices that anybody has fallen off and is struggling to get back, they'll basically loop around and swing around for that person and help pull them back to the peloton. That is nothing to be ashamed of. If you go on the B ride and you fall off, I've fallen off of group rides before, and I've had, Bob, you guys know Bob at the shop. I've had Bob pull me back in. I've had other customers who are riders pull me back in. It's nothing to be ashamed of. One thing I want to point out, and it was advice that was given to me by another female rider, and it's always stuck with me. And it's something I kind of put in my back pocket, and now I'm going to share it with you guys. If you never ride with a group that is beyond your skill level, how are you ever going to push yourself and surpass where you're at? And it's daunting, it's intimidating. For me, when I started out mountain biking before road riding. And I remember going on group rides at Bluff, and it was with some local riders, and it was a majority male group. There were very few females, And that was scary. I'm not only new, but I'm also going on these rides with a bunch of dudes looking at me to see if I can make it over an obstacle or not. That is intimidating. However, I kept at it. I kept going. They were really great. They didn't make me feel bad. They'd wait up at intersections. And that was really what helped me to hone in on those skills that I was developing. So it's one thing I want to kind of pass along to you. When you go on a ride that might be beyond your skill level, that's really your only way of continuing to develop those skills. And also think about what you can learn from other riders who are also on those rides. You know, one thing I can think of, Chris is phenomenal in the sense of if he's on a ride and he recognizes a rider is struggling, he always makes sure that that person knows, hey man, like, don't feel bad. Like, please come out on the next ride. We want to see you again. And really, that's not just Chris's feeling. That's our entire team's feeling. We don't want you to feel like, oh, I was barely hanging on that ride. I'm not going to go back. I'm embarrassed now. Don't be embarrassed. We've all been there. I've gone on a group ride and I've been on the side of the road because I was physically sick from it and I had to have my sisters come and get me. It happens to all of us. So don't feel like you shouldn't be coming on group rides. We want you there. We really do. And and again, I just said that about getting sick. That is not, like, our group rides are not meant to push you to that point. That just happened to be a very extreme hilly ride. I didn't eat breakfast. I was a dummy. But anyways, take those tidbits of information, try to let it, ease your mind. When we do get back after, COVID times to group rides, please come out. We want to see you. Don't feel intimidated. If it's your first group ride, awesome. Let us know that. Like, we'll try to fill you in on certain etiquette. And that's another video I'll come out with, is just, group riding etiquette, because that's something that's important. Last point, when you go on a group ride, please be considerate of your ride leader. Your ride leader works very hard to keep the group together. We sometimes have these rebels who, won't listen to the ride leader or go zooming past the ride leader, which causes the rest of the group to then zoom past the ride leader because they don't want to be the slowest in the group and they want to show that they're fast, and it becomes like a show-off type scenario. Just respect your ride leader. They are trying to make sure they keep everybody together so that everybody has fun. If you have any questions, put them below in the comments. They might be great content for my next video, and I will be sure to address all of them. As always, thanks guys. We look forward to seeing you again soon, and yeah, have a great rest of your day. See you at the shop.